This is the Prime Minister Anthony Albanese speaking live from the Jobs Summit and opening it up.
There is so much for our country to gain from answering the generous, patient call of the Uluru Statement from the Heart. Sometime, together we'll all be lifted up as a nation. 30 years ago, that wouldn't have happened. Now it happens as a matter of course. And we will, with a voice to Parliament enshrined in our Constitution, all wonder why it hadn't happened 30 years ago as well. To Premiers and Chief Ministers, welcome. To my colleagues, parliamentary colleagues from across the spectrum who are here, welcome as well. To all of our friends who are here from the whole of Australian society, welcome. And to my fellow Australians, welcome to Parliament House. Thank you for bringing your energy, your ideas and your leadership to the National Jobs and Skills Summit. The 2 days ahead of us have been shaped by more than 100 different roundtables and consultations undertaken by ministers and government members across every portfolio right across our vast continent, involving many tens of thousands of Australians if you add up all the meetings. And I also want to acknowledge all the conversations that businesses and industry and unions and community groups have engaged in and led themselves, working to bring shared principles and concrete proposals to this gathering. I thank you for the spirit, but also the substance of your contribution. And in the same vein, I'm very pleased to announce that yesterday at National Cabinet, we reached an agreement between the Commonwealth and every state and territory government to create an additional 180,000 fee-free TAFE places for 2023. This is a $1.1 billion package, and we've agreed to share the costs between the Commonwealth and the states and territories. We'll continue to cooperate on the design of the long-term National Skills Agreement, and indeed we've agreed to the principles that will shape it. But in recognition of the urgent challenges facing our nation, we are taking action now with a $1 billion training blitz driven by public TAFE. We want to see more Australians gaining the skills they need to find good jobs in areas of national priority. And I want this to be the beginning, not the end, of the progress that we see on skills and training over the next 2 days. Because it's my great hope that this Jobs and Skills Summit marks the beginning of a new culture of cooperation, a new focus on working together to deal with the urgent challenges that our economy is facing, and new efforts to build together for the long term so Australians can seize and own the opportunities of the next decade. The summit's agenda reflects the challenges that the industries and businesses and people you represent are dealing with each and every day. Staff and skills shortages, missing links in supply chains, growing demand on our caring and community sector, an energy grid which is simply past its use-by date, structural barriers that deny women equality in opportunity, in pay and in financial security, and the squeeze of stagnant wages and rising living costs. These challenges are significant, but more than that, they're urgent. In a few moments, the Treasurer will speak to the combined pressure that these forces are placing on the budget and the economy. And once Jim has done that, I respectfully ask that all of us take the context as read and assume that our respective starting positions, our opening bids if you like, are known and understood, because we've got a bit under 2 days. Let's promise each other that we won't spend them playing our greatest hits, rehashing the same arguments or reheating old conflicts. We have not gathered here to dig deeper trenches on the same old battlefields. Our goal, and indeed our responsibility, all of us, is to carry the conversation to the common ground where the work is done and the progress is made. building a stronger, fairer economy on the broadest possible foundation. Of course, I don't expect us to solve every problem and fix every issue before tomorrow afternoon, nor do I imagine everyone will be happy with every outcome. Compromises will need to be negotiated, sacrifices will need to be made, but if we can get it right, if we can seek out the points of consensus rather than reasons for disagreement, the results will certainly be worth it. I've said before, Australians have conflict fatigue. It's one of the reasons why I'm standing here as Prime Minister in a new government. They want politics to operate differently, and we intend to lead in that regard. And I must say that the way that the National Cabinet is functioning, with agreement across the political spectrum, is an example of what we are searching for and what is being achieved already. But we need increased productivity. We need stronger wages. We need a workforce that's ready with the skills and smarts and support to succeed in the years ahead. This is the opportunity that is in front of us. But more than that, it's our responsibility as leaders. The responsibility we owe to the people who don't have a seat in this room. Nurses on their way home from the night shift, farmers up before the sun, small business owners there long before opening, staying well after close, childcare workers not only doing a vital job in the face of pressures and shortages, but making it possible for millions of other people to do their jobs too. The workers in this very building who are making this event possible, the cleaners, the caterers and the security staff as well. All those Australians stacking shelves, cleaning offices, building homes, moving freight around the country. These are the heroes of the pandemic. They deserve more than our thanks. They deserve us putting our shoulder to the wheel to make sure that they have the opportunity that is this great country's promise. The Australian economy is not some abstract concept removed from people's lives. It is about them. Australians, Australian workers are our economy. Educators and carers, miners and producers and farmers and tradies, tourism operators and hospitality workers, entrepreneurs and innovators, startups and small business owners. Every Australian holds a stake in the outcome of our discussions. Every Australian deserves our best efforts to seek consensus, to achieve progress. And when we work together to unlock the new growth and broader opportunity and productivity gains our nation needs, every Australian should share in the benefits, including people who have been trapped in long-term unemployment or held back by disadvantage, including older Australians who want to get back into work and have a great deal to give, including people with disability being empowered to fully participate in careers in every part of Australian society, including our veterans, people of extraordinary capacity looking for someone to recognise their potential. Because the work of building a stronger economy should include everyone. It should lift everyone up. Now we've all got work to do, so I'll finish with this point before I hand over to Jim. When Bob Hawke brought the National Economic Summit to the old building down the hill in 1983, he concluded his opening remarks with a quote from John Curtin, summoning the inherent quality of the Australian people to face the crisis ahead. That summit of 1983 is as many years removed from us as the Second World War was from them. Just think about that. Time, trade and technology mean that we confront a very different set of challenges in our globalised world. The world has been transformed. We don't have the same levers to pull. But the inherent quality of the Australian people remains a constant. Through all the hardship and heartache and uncertainty and disaster of the past few years, Australians have been simply magnificent. Australians have shown time and time again they can rise to any challenge. Businesses did it, unions did it, Australians did it, got us through the pandemic. So let all of us, as leaders and representatives, rise to this moment. Let's work together, let's listen to each other, let's make every effort to turn agreement into action for the benefit of all Australians. Thank you very much.